All right, what's my b, my base? 12, right? 12. What's my exponent, my x? 1, right? And 12 to the 1 power equals 12, okay? Anything to the 1 power equals itself, right? That's a pretty obvious one, right? Anything to the 1 power equals itself, right? That's the way that it is. It's a basic thing. Any questions? Nope. No, still good, okay? All right, 4 log base 1/4 of 4 equals -1. Okay, so what's my base? 1/4. Okay, now I want to tell you guys, when you're doing it in the calculator, I would put the fraction in parentheses just to be safe, because with the fraction, between the fractions and the exponents, stuff might get in the wrong place, and maybe the calculator doesn't give you the answer you want. Like you just saw me do where I didn't do -15 in the parentheses, it didn't give me the right answer. Okay, so I would just do any fractions in parentheses just to be safe. And what's my exponent? -1 equals 4. Okay, now that is another special rule, okay, that we need to always remember. Okay, negative exponent flips the fraction. Okay, we've talked about that before too. You're going to need that several times on this one. Okay, if you ever see something, either it goes from a fraction to a whole number, because that's really 4/1, right? It flipped it. Okay, the negative sign did that. The 1 stayed with the 4. 4 to the 1 power is 4. The negative made it flip. Okay, again, we'll see that more and more. It's just a rule you got to get used to. Good. Any questions on those? Right, easy? Right, pretty easy so far, right? Okay, now we're going to go from this column to the logs. Okay, the first few they gave us log, we went to exponential. Now we're going to go from exponential to log. Okay, so they're going to say write in logarithmic form. All right, so now the exponential is going to be our problem, and our answer is going to go over here. Okay, number 5. First one, 5 squared equals, what's 5 squared? 25. All right, 5 squared equals 25. Okay, now on all these, we got to write the word log. Okay, that's obviously going to be the first thing in logarithmic form is the word log. All right, and what's my base? 5, right? That goes in the basement. Now, the good thing about this is you can still use the same rule with the circle and the loop like I did up here. Okay, if I start with 5 and I go around, 5 to the 25 equals 2. Right? You can still use the looping mechanism. All right? Because, again, when the log is trying to say 5 to the what power is 25? 2. 5 to the 2 power, second power. All right, let's try another one. Okay. Log. I did this wrong last time. My bad. Hold on. 10 to the -1 equals 0.1. Log is right, but I'm going to erase it so that it can be in the right color. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do on all of these. Anytime they give you a decimal, turn it into a fraction. Okay? Anytime they give you a decimal on any of these, turn it into a fraction, because it's so much easier to see what's happening with the flipping fractions if you have one. Okay? So I'm going to say always turn decimals into fractions. I always turn decimals into fractions. And I'm going to bubble this. Okay, so what I need you to do for me first is 0.1 math frac equals 1 over 10. Okay, 1/10 equals 0.1. Okay, so now we see 10 to the negative 1 flipped a fraction. Okay, it's like number 4. Right, you see that? Right, it's a lot easier to see how the fraction flipped when you didn't have a decimal. Right, now you can see, oh, okay, it was on top, 10 was on the top, but the negative made it flip to the bottom. All right, so let's write our answer. Of course, it's going to have log. What's our base? 10. Right, and I'm going to use the fraction, okay? We just do the same thing, do little circle. Right, 10. What's our y? 1 out of 10, right? 1/10 or 0.1. All right, again, I'm big on the fractions. All right, equals, what's our